Good morning, friends and enemies. Your rookie drafts are underway. Your rookie drafts are happening within the next couple days, within the next couple hours. I don't know. Maybe you're in leagues like mine where you're got to go collect buy-ins like you're the damn IRS from people nowhere to be found at this point in the year. It's crazy how that shit happens every single year, same time. Today we're talking about players that need to be immediate taxi squad ads after your rookie drafts. Or if you didn't draft yet, maybe they are late fourth round picks, okay? On Twitter over the last couple of days, I've been posting my updated rookie rankings, okay? So I've had my top 50, and we'll put them up here if you want to screenshot and look at them. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about 5 players that I think you need to add immediately after your rookie drafts if they are sitting on the waiver wire. Put them into the taxi squad, put them into the end of your roster, whatever the case may be, okay? And it's a little bit tough to pinpoint because we're never going to have accurate rankings of 4th and 5th round rookie picks right now from any legit resource. So if any of the players are in my top 50, I will not be mentioning them as top priority ads, right? So you can go by my rankings. If, for instance, the 36th ranked player here is undrafted in your league, he would be a very, very highly ranked top priority ad after your draft. So all the guys that I mentioned in today's video are not within my top 50, but some of them, after doing some research, will now crack that. All right, so let's lock in here. The first player on this list, and this is a very running back heavy list, similar to just like the energy of this class. It's a very strong running back class, meaning a lot of the players at the end of the draft or undrafted free agents become really good values. And one of my favorite values is Brashard Smith, the SMU running back that went to the Kansas City Chiefs in the 7th round. Now, first thing to know about Brashard Smith is he is a little bit undersized, 195 pounds, which isn't necessarily a big concern in today's NFL, the way they use different running backs in different roles. He is a wide receiver converted running back, okay? Similar to the way that Tyrone Tracy was in college as well. What I love so much about this fit and for this player is when you look at the Kansas City backfield, there's so much opportunity there. They have Isiah Pacheco, obviously, coming back from the injury, and we hope he regains his form from 2 years ago, but who knows? And even with that completely different skill set here, underneath Pacheco, it's Kareem Hunt. It's the anchor of Carson Steele. You have a dusty Elijah Mitchell. There is like no one there that has any sort of explosiveness besides Pacheco in that backfield. And that's what I love about Smith, because Smith, as a converted wide receiver, runs a 4.39 and is an excellent pass catching back because he was a wide receiver. So he fits the complement in this backfield tremendously. When you start to look at the numbers for Brashard Smith last year, #1 receiving grade per PFF among every NCAA running back. #1 in the class in terms of target rate when running a route. 25% of the time he ran a route, he was targeted. #1 in the class with over 1,300 return yards. Extremely versatile. They'll use him on special teams, which in my opinion is such a valuable piece for a 7th rounder. Because when you're a 7th round pick, you are not guaranteed to make the roster at all. But if you fit a hole in the backfield, plus you could play special teams, you're very, very likely to make the roster. So you have a great returner, you have a great pass catcher, #5 in the NCAA last year in yards per route run among running backs, top 10 pass blocking grade too, all right? So when we talk about a dude that can play on 3rd downs, that's also important for Patrick Mahomes. So not only can he catch the ball and is he versatile and he's extremely explosive, he's also a good pass blocker. And he's also got solid yards after contact per attempt numbers. So he is a good running back. He had over, I believe it was like 250 carries last year. So it's not like he's a total cone in the run game either. He is explosive. He is versatile. He is shifty. Great pass catcher. So when I look at this backfield makeup and what they have or what they don't have, Smith is kind of like the perfect puzzle piece to kind of complete the puzzle here, all right? So love Brashard Smith. And honestly, after doing the research and looking into fit, opportunity, play type, archetype, whatever, he will definitely be moving into my top 48 and is someone that I would suggest you draft in your rookie draft if you have not had it yet. Moving on to #2, we've got a Washington Commander running back, also picked in the 7th round, Jacory croskey-merritt. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that last part right, Merritt, whatever. I'm calling him JCM from now on, though. Now, JCM took an interesting path to the NFL. He is older, right? He is 24 years old already, 7th round pick. He played 4 years at Alabama State. He basically came out of high school as like a 0-star recruit, played 4 years at Alabama State, then transferred to New Mexico for a year, broke out. Massive season, transferred to Arizona after that. So we're talking about the 6th year right now. And at Arizona, he played a single game, went like 13 for 106 and a touchdown against his former team, New Mexico, and then ran into eligibility issues and did not play again all of last year. Despite that, despite being a later round guy and not playing at all last year, he was still drafted, which I think does speak volumes about his talent. From an athleticism and size standpoint, 5'10", 206, plenty enough size in today's NFL. 4.52 40-yard dash, good speed score, good burst score, averaged over 7 yards per carry in college. When we pop the hood in 2023 and look at his real full season breakout year in New Mexico, over 34% missed tackle forced per attempt rate, 93rd percentile in the NCAA. 20.7% of his runs went for 10-plus yards, 91st percentile. 11.7% of his runs went for 15 or more yards, also 91st percentile. His elusive rating, 11th among 145 qualified backs. His pass block grade, 78th percentile. Nearly 4 yards after contact per attempt, 85th percentile. Was not used much in the passing game. Had 7 catches for 72 yards the entire year in 2023. Good yard per route run number, but that's too small of a sample size for me to actually bank on anything there. So we are looking at an early down back here who has wiggle, who has strength, who has explosiveness, who has a knack for the end zone. And when I look at the fit in Washington, on paper, yeah, they have a lot of names there. They have Brian Robinson and Jeremy McNichols and Chris Rodriguez. But do they really have a lot of names there? If JCM returns to anything close to what he was for New Mexico in 2023, he's immediately better than McNichols and Chris Rodriguez. Then you have to ask yourself, where do they land with Brian Robinson? Brian Robinson's good, but definitely not great by any means. He's a day 2 pick who at this point has been in the NFL for 3 years and has yet to crack 800 rushing yards. And that's supposed to be his thing, right? An early down, thumper grinder. You can't get to 800 rushing yards. He's yet to stay healthy for a full season. For one reason or another, he misses games. So I think there's a very, very real chance that JCM at some point or another could push Brian Robinson for carries. Him and Eckler, completely different roles. Obviously, Eckler will be the pass catching back here in Washington. But JCM is very, very talented on early downs. And I'm excited to see if he can make the roster, which I think he will, and end up being the backup here. And again, you just got to realize, I'm talking about taxi squad players. I'm talking about guys who are getting the 4th round, if not picking up after your rookie drafts. They're all long shots, but I'm trying to give you who I think are the best possibilities, the best odds of being able to elevate from your taxi squad to maybe crack your lineup once or twice this year, and then maybe become more of a flex option in year 2. After Jacory, croskey-merritt, we're moving on to the wide receiver position. We'll actually be back at the running back position in a second, but I do want to talk about Xavier Restrepo. He goes to Tennessee. He was signed after the draft. He was actually not drafted in the NFL draft. So he signs as an undrafted free agent to the Tennessee Titans. Xavier Restrepo was the slot wide receiver out of Miami. He was a pre-pro day favorite of everyone, including myself, and then he pretty much became the post-pro day woe after running a 4.83 40-yard dash. I mean, listen, at the wide receiver position, you don't have to live and die by athleticism. You don't have to live and die by the 40-yard dash, but 4.83, you are pushing the boundaries on what an NFL caliber athlete can be and has to be in order to produce at a high level. So we're close there. But I liked Xavier Restrepo's tape a lot. And what I really, really like here is they are pairing him back up with his college quarterback, the one that he had great chemistry with in Cam Ward, back there in Tennessee. Now, Restrepo had a legendary Miami career, only receiver ever to go for back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, and is the all-time leading receiver for the Miami Hurricanes, which is an incredibly impressive list of receivers that have, played there. And obviously that doesn't mean much because some players go out earlier and just college statistics obviously need to be taken with a massive grain of salt. But still, he's a high-level producer at the college level, and I think that has to matter for something. Now, Tennessee, they have Calvin Ridley, obviously, but behind him, they used 2 4th-round picks on receivers. You have Shamir Dyke and you have Alec Ayumaner. So you have 2 guys that were drafted above Restrepo, which, automatically makes this an uphill battle. But Restrepo does seem to be, to me, one of those dudes who's going to be like a gym class hero, a practice hero, who's going to pop in training camp. And I think because of that, and because of the chemistry he already has with Cam Ward, I think he probably makes this roster. And I think he makes a 53-man team. And then anything can happen at that point, Anything could happen with these types of rookies. So I'm going to throw him on here as one of my favorites as a taxi squad ad. Next up, we're going to talk about another receiver, and that is Isaiah Bond. I think if anyone's making a taxi squad ad list or players to add, undrafted free agent list, and doesn't mention the situation here with Isaiah Bond, I don't think they're very good at their job. Now, I want to run through this kind of in detail. Isaiah Bond, some of you may know him, may not know him. He was very, very widely looked at about a month ago, 2 months ago, as an early day 2 pick. He's a receiver out of the University of Texas, blazing game speed, like absolute field stretcher. And he's 180 pounds, 5'11", 180. So it's not like he's, 165 pounds and completely only used to take the top off, but blazing speed when he's on the field. However, he does now have a sexual assault case on his plate that came out about a month ago. And because of that, he went from an early day 2 pick. I even saw mock drafts where he was a late day 1 pick, like the 30th, 31st, 32nd player in the NFL draft, mock drafts, not even, a month and a half ago. He didn't get drafted in the NFL draft because of this. Now, I've read the affidavit. It's not good. I'm going to throw the summary up on the screen. If you guys want to pause and read it, now would be the time to do so. Here's what I'll say. It has now been 48 hours since the draft has ended and no team has signed him. That's not good. That should tell you a lot. I mean, I am not here to judge him. I'm not here to judge the situation. I'm not here to try to predict which way this is going to go because I have no knowledge of really inside what's happening. I don't know the girl. I don't know him, whatever the case. But I'll tell you this. The NFL had no problem drafting Mike Green. Yeah, he slid a little bit, but they drafted him inside the first 2 rounds. The NFL has had historically no problem signing guys that have had legal cases, that have done many, many, many bad things. These teams are billion-dollar corporations with some of the best lawyers in the world working for them, and no one has even remotely touched Isaiah Bond, okay? So that's first and foremost. If you don't want to draft him or sign him after, I got no problem with that, but to think that you're going to be able to predict what happens on a legal level would also be fucking moronic. So that being said, fantasy football, simply a game of numbers. You got a taxi squad guy. This is the lowest form of risk in the game of Dynasty fantasy football, and he was routinely mocked as an early day 2 talent. He's got game-breaking speed. If this case gets settled, if this case just goes away or gets dropped, he's going to be signed by a team quickly, and he's going to likely make the team of whatever NFL roster he is on. So that's the case to be made for Isaiah Bond. Do whatever you want with it. And the 5th and final player on this list, and I'm not going to be able to pronounce his last name, is Kyle Monangai. He is a running back out of Rutgers. He was a 7th-round pick to Chicago. He's another guy that's a little bit older. He spent 5 years at Rutgers. To be fair, he's playing behind Pacheco for a handful of those years. Became the starter in 2022, the lead rusher for them, and then had big years in 2023 and 2024. Now, when we look at the Chicago situation holistically, DeAndre Swift was obviously a massive winner in the NFL draft, them not taking, a Travion Henderson or whoever. But there's obviously room for another back to emerge in that backfield. Like Roschon Johnson clearly ain't it there. Do I think that there's crazy upside with Monangai? Not really. He's not necessarily a factor in the passing game, and he's definitely not super explosive. A 4.6 40 doesn't tell me that he can't play the running back position at the NFL level, but you're probably not gonna, run off with a bunch of breakaway runs. He is powerful. He's a good pass blocker. He can make guys miss. He has that phone booth footwork that's really exciting in the backfield, and that's why he makes guys miss. He literally never fumbles. Like legit 600 carries over the last 2 years, zero fumbles, very, very productive at the college level. And we've also seen historically Rutgers running backs, we look at Rutgers, they're like, oh, small school, not great competition, whatever. We've seen Rutgers running backs translate pretty well to the NFL level before. So it's obviously not predictive whatsoever, but I do think that can be a little side note for you. So Kyle M, we're going to leave it at that, is the 5th player on this taxi squad list for you. If you have any under-the-radar players, again, not on my top 50 already, drop them in the comments. Let some other people know who we should have an eye on here. And I will say, after doing the research again, I will be putting Brashard Smith and I will be putting JCM in my top 48 rankings, and I think they're guys worthy of being taken end of the 3rd, more likely middle to end of the 4th round, but I think they're very, 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 very worthy of rookie picks in your draft. So again, if you've already had your rookie drafts and these guys are sitting on your waiver wire, go grab them right now, put them on your taxi squad. If you've got your rookie drafts upcoming, subscribe to the channel because we're going to be doing a bunch of rookie mock drafts this week with the people in the Discord. So if you want to join those rookie mock drafts, join the Discord, free to join, link down below. I hope this was helpful for you. Thank you to anyone who's been tuning in to all the rookie and NFL draft video coverage I've been putting out the last couple of days. Appreciate the support. I love you. That is it. Smoke cheese.